Okay, listen guys, I guess I'm just a food channel now. We're all gonna have to get over it. Hey everybody, so today I'm going to do a mukbang style sit, chat, eat with me, whatever you want to call this. I fucking love filming these. No pumpkin. Sorry, baby. Whatever you want to call this. I love filming these, I love eating, and I love talking. So they're my two favorite pastimes. Today, we're going to talk about breakups. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But before that, we have a very, very special and exciting sponsor of today's video. So let's get to 2 hours ago, Katie. I am so excited about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Beducated. If you've been on my platform for a while, you may remember Beducated. I've done one more sponsored post with them, but Beducated is an online sex education platform that goes so beyond your stereotypical sex education classes. It is everything under the sun of sexual wellness and well-being on a website that gives you courses and tips and tricks from sex experts from all over the world on so many different topics. They have over 80 courses on their website, and I personally checked out the course on sexual empowerment and finding sexual empowerment within yourself because I thought that course would be the perfect topic to go hand in hand, especially with today's video talking about breakups. I loved how warm and inviting and just real the educator was. It was an hour-and-a-half course, and what I love about it too is they give you an outline of everything they're going to go through in the course. So it makes it really easy to check out a bunch of different courses, look at the outlines, see what ones you're interested in, or maybe what ones don't necessarily fit what your needs are, but it makes it so easy because you know exactly what you're getting into. And this is not like watching a college professor drone on about biology or whatever. These are warm, inviting people that are passionate about sex education and passionate about sharing their knowledge with the world. I absolutely adored it. It was so empowering to watch and so energizing. It made me excited. I find myself to be a very sexually empowered person, but it made me question where I can be better, and it made me excited to really own it even more. It was such a beautiful course. Educated and I are working together, and if you use code Katie, K-A-T-I-E, you get a free 24-hour trial where you can try all of their 80+ courses on their website and check them out, see if there's topics that you're interested in, which I guarantee there are because there are so many different topics, from open relationships to cunnilingus to anal to Kama Sutra to everything under the sun. Plus you get 40% off a year subscription, which whether you're partnered or single or whatever it is, there's something that is beneficial for you on Beducated. It is such an amazing resource. Thank you so much to Beducated for partnering with me on this video. And without further ado, let's eat some food and talk about breakups. All right, y'all, seriously, check out Beducated. They're fucking awesome. And without further ado, let's get into talking about breakups, shall we? I am enjoying a passion fruit and butterfly pea flower sour called Violet Crimes, and look how pretty it is. It's from Mountain View Brewing. Anyways, I wanted to talk about this because even before my breakup, I got asked what to do about breakups all the time. Those were probably like in my DMs, the two most common questions are, one, how'd you get so confident? And two, I just went through a breakup. Do you have any advice for me? Oh my God, I'm so hungry. And y'all, honestly, I've dated since I was 14. I started way too young. I've had a lot of long-term relationships. And I will say a disclaimer that, like, obviously the advice I'm giving in this video is from my experience and the different scenarios that I have gone through. So that being said, if you have any experience that you would like to offer to people, please comment down below what helped you or whatever when we actually get into talking about it. And please just like keep in mind that as with anything, if somebody's advice doesn't resonate with you, just move on. Just move on. That's it. That advice isn't for you, and not everybody's advice is for you. You know? Anyways, let's get into it. Oh, buddy, breakups. For those of you that don't know, I recently got out of a 3.5-year relationship who I moved to a different country for, thought I was getting married to, the whole thing. Also, if you're here for the tea on that breakup, you're not gonna get it. Well, I will talk about my personal growth and journey post-breakup and the things that I did to nurture and care for myself during and after the breakup. I'm not gonna get into what happened between us. I respect him and I respect the relationship that we had. I'm not gonna do that. Oh man, I had to wait until my camera charged to eat this. So now these like chicken strips are like floppy. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. You just broke up with someone. Or maybe let's start before that. Let's start about when you know you have to break up with someone. Or when you know the relationship is ending and they're gonna break up with you. Or like when you just know it's not working. I will find his Instagram and leave it either on the screen or in the description. He's a really popular therapist on TikTok. But he had a great analogy. He said that breaking up with somebody or a relationship breaking up is like tipping a vending machine over. You're not just gonna push it and it's gonna go. It's gonna have to rock back and forth, and then on one side it will finally give and fall. And I thought that was the most brilliant like metaphor for a breakup, because when you know it's coming, and I am a person that lives in denial about a breakup for as long as I possibly fucking can. But like when you know that it's bad and you know that it's just doing that rocking back and forth, I think that's when you just need to like nurture and lock down and like protect yourself. You know, a lot of us just kind of put our guards up, or maybe you do the opposite. I put my guard up personally. I put that shield right up. I definitely know some people that do the opposite and try to let every guard down in order to let the person in closer, to like hold them closer to hopefully they don't go. It truly is like ripping a band-aid off, but it's like ripping the worst band-aid off that you've ever felt in your life. Maybe that's dramatic, but like as somebody who has had multiple years long relationships, I don't know, that's kind of the beautiful thing about it, is that, you know, this is my like 4th long-term relationship, and like I know that I'm gonna be okay now. It's really refreshing, because like I know when I feel that rock back and forth that wherever it lands, if it lands in the middle or if it falls to one side or the other, I will be okay, because I have proven to myself that I have done it before. So if you're a person that, you know, maybe it's your first relationship, or you haven't had a lot of relationships, or you haven't had a lot of like significant like long-term relationships, it's gonna fucking sting. It's gonna sting really, really badly, because everything's just so heightened. You know, you haven't built up the immunity to a breakup, you know what I mean? Like you haven't built up any strength to specifically handle that. Like handling a breakup is a fucking skill, man. And some of us are blessed to where we don't have to be good at that, but others of us, it just happens. You know, we date a lot, and a lot of the times when you date a lot, you break up a lot, because you learn and you grow as a person, and they aren't right for you anymore, or it's not healthy anymore. And I think breakups are a sign of growth. They're a sign that you are recognizing that something isn't good for you anymore, or that something isn't what you need anymore, and you are stepping up and away from it. And that is so huge. I'm so sorry. A low comedic break for you. That is so huge. Normally I would eat my crust. Normally I am a crust eater. Just so you know, I'm team eating crust. But it's too chewy and I want to try to talk. So if you're in that situation, just like really fucking pat yourself on the back. And hopefully you have people around you who are doing the same, you know, that are encouraging. That's the other thing, like listen to your friends. Listen to the people around you. Now, not everybody, we all know those friends that we don't take relationship advice from, or we don't necessarily, or we take their opinion with a grain of salt. But you know the people that you listen to. Really listen to them. Don't be embarrassed to come back to them for more advice. That's a beautiful friendship. Unless you were a toxic friend to where you burn the bridge and you can't go back to them. That's the beautiful thing about friendships is, you know, we've all seen friends go through breakups, and maybe they get a little shitty during the breakup, or maybe they don't listen to you during the breakup, whatever it is. but like you're still gonna be there for them when it happens. Like treat yourself the way you would treat a friend. You know, of course you're gonna be there for that friend when they finally break up with their shitty ex that you've been telling them to break up with for 1,000,005 years, whatever the situation may be. Like give yourself that grace. So then during the breakup, it helped me a lot to write down what I was feeling because I had a lot of big emotions, obviously. Breakups are a lot of the times very big emotions. It helped me a lot to write letters, to just type things out, to send text messages to myself, to vent to friends via text message. Because as healthy as it is to talk out loud, sometimes writing things down, especially like manually, pen and paper, writing things down. And if you journal, I know you'll know this feeling. Sometimes when you write something down, it either solidifies it and it rings so true and you're like, yes, this is what I'm feeling. Or you write it down and you go, no, that doesn't sit right with me. Maybe this feels like that, but it's not that. You know what I mean? Please comment down below if you've had those experiences where you've written something down that you think that you're feeling and then you write it down and you go, no, I'm not feeling that. And then you can dig deeper into what you're actually feeling, and it's so helpful. And also, during the process of a breakup, if you can do that, as bad as it sounds, you have receipts. You have receipts of like, no, I've been feeling this way for a while because on this day I wrote this in my journal. On this day I wrote a Google Doc that was this. You know, maybe that's the Capricorn in me. It's like, I'm gonna pull up my Google spreadsheet of all of my receipts of how shitty you've been to me. No, that's not what I'm saying. But it kind of is. When your emotions are heightened like that, when you're dealing with something like a breakup, sometimes we say things that are just for the drama of it. Sometimes we say things because we feel that drama, because that's genuinely how we feel in that moment. And sometimes we say things that are our absolute truths. And sometimes those lines get crossed. You know, when you're in a fight with somebody who you love and care about, it is such heightened emotions. Things can get messy. You can say things you don't mean, but you can also say things that you mean a lot. So I think writing things down, texting things, so that way you can go back and read it, helps so much because it just like solidifies your feelings and it helps you pinpoint what exactly you're feeling. So to go back to what I was saying earlier, the thing that I'm really bad about when dealing with a breakup is feeling the breakup. That is the number one thing you have to do when you're going through truly anything in life. It doesn't have to be a breakup. It could be a loss of any kind, any big emotion, trauma, whatever. You gotta feel the feelings. You would think because of my Cancer moon and Cancer rising that I'm really fucking good at feeling feelings, but I am still a Capricorn sun and I don't fucking want those feelings to get in my goddamn way. Like, I hate feeling the feelings, and like, that's, you know, it bites you in the ass because what happens? Picture a bottle and you shake up some soda and you pour it in there and then you stick the cork on. If you never let those feelings out, it's gonna finally creep, it's gonna creep, it's gonna creep, and then that cork's gonna pop at the most random moments. The most random moments. You're gonna be driving home from work, listening to Avril Lavigne, having a fun time, and then all of a sudden you're sob screaming in your car to Avril Lavigne and you don't know what's going on. It's definitely not from personal experience. But the more that when those moments come up, you can just let it out. It's called letting it out and letting it go for a reason. You have to let yourself feel the feelings. Like, I know how sad it is. I know how much it just fucking sucks and it feels like the worst thing in the world. But like, just nurture yourself. You have to nurture yourself. Picture Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. What happens when fucking what's-his-butt, I don't even remember his name because he's such a little dingus. When what's-his-butt breaks up with her, what does she do? She sits in her bed, watches rom-coms, eats chocolate, and yells at her TV. It's okay to be sad. You're going through a breakup. It's okay. It's totally okay to go home and lay in your bed and eat a bunch of junk food and cry. That is so more than okay. And I think, you know, like our culture says otherwise. Our culture is like, no, like you can't call in from work because of mental health. That's not like a real thing. Like it's such like hustle culture bullshit. No, fuck the man. Call in from work if you can afford it, obviously. Use a fucking sick day and nurture yourself. Eat food that makes you feel good. Watch movies that make you feel good. Spend time with people that make you feel good, but also let yourself sit in the sad, which is the worst part of the breakup. There's several bad parts to a breakup, but to me, that's the hardest thing. To me, the hardest thing is just being able to tell myself that I'm not okay and being okay with it. You know, it's like I don't know if To Write Love on Her Arms like coined this, but it's like, it's okay to not be okay. It is also okay to have pineapple in your teeth when you're filming a YouTube video. But like, you gotta do it. You'll also like prove to yourself that like you can. You know, when you're having those moments where it literally feels like your world is crashing down around you and everything you've done to get to this point was a mistake and all of the terrible negative thoughts, like they will go away. This too shall pass. They will go away. I pinky promise you they will. If you bottle them up, they won't. Or they will, but it's gonna take you a lot longer to get through the breakup. I think also one of the worst parts is like interacting with the ex afterwards. I've had multiple exes that I had to live with after we broke up, which is always really hard to draw those boundaries because I'm also a person that really wants to be friends with my exes, but I'll get to the friends with the exes or hooking up with exes. Oh my God, put a little pin in that. But you gotta stick those boundaries up, or you have to respect those boundaries. If your partner, if your ex is the one putting up the boundaries, you really have to respect them. Same way that if you put up boundaries, they really have to respect it. And you know, if this is a messy, toxic situation where your partner does not, that's a whole different beast. And then I think that just comes down to self-care. That comes down to just spending time in your room, spending time by yourself, going out with friends, doing what you need to, like survival mode shit, doing what you need to get through, to get to the next day, to get to counting down the days until you don't live with this person anymore. I've been lucky enough to where I haven't had that toxic, I mean, I had some toxic relationships when I was in high school, not that toxic, and obviously I didn't live with them because I was in high school, but you know, that's like survival mode. You just gotta get to the next day. You gotta, and like some people in some circumstances, hi Pumpkin, do you wanna come up here? Hi. Hello Pumpkin. No, that's not for you, come on, you can lay up there. Pumpkin wants to be part of the mukbang. This is her favorite spot, so she gets to lay down and be a part of it. Oh, look how cute she is. Hi, honey. My camera keeps overheating. And obviously, there are some breakups where you absolutely can be friends with them relatively soon after the breakup. That happens. I still encourage people to take that step away. Even in that circumstance, take some time to process the breakup and the relationship separate from the friendship, because they are separate things now, right? Before, when you're dating the person, they're your friend and your partner. Now they're just your friend. And again, sometimes it's pretty easy to go back to that. Not for a lot of us though. And so I really, really think, my opinion is that I think like you should take space away from them. I think even if there's nothing toxic, you guys are on good terms, whatever it is, there's a reason you broke up. There's a reason things didn't work out. So just take the step away from somebody. And if they keep coming back into your life as a friend, whatever, or whatever, if they keep coming back into your life, maybe look into it. You know, because I firmly believe that people come in and out of your life for a reason. And sometimes it's to teach you a lesson. Sometimes and I hate saying that because I would hate for somebody to have this genuinely toxic person in their life that is genuinely not good for them. and for them to use the excuse of, oh, well, you know, they keep showing up in my life, they're supposed to be in my life for a reason, blah, 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 blah. Again, not judging anyone's scenario, but I've personally gone through that, and I've seen that a lot, where it's like, maybe the reason they keep coming up in your life is because you need to learn a lesson from them that you're not listening to. And maybe that lesson is valuing yourself more. I feel like I see that a lot, where people don't value themselves, so they don't get them out of toxic situations for so many reasons. You know, I feel like everybody has a savior complex. I absolutely do. I'm a fixer, I'm a saver. Talking to my therapist about it a lot. So I had to learn that pretty early on. Again, I started dating at a really young age. So, you know, my first long-term relationship was like 16 to 18, right? But even my boyfriends before that, when I was 15, 16, I was a fucking little savior. And then still did it kind of through my early 20s. And then once I kind of hit 22, I was like, nope, we're not gonna do that. But I still do that because it's who I am. It's how, you know, it's my trauma, it's my baggage. I personally think that, like, you should take space away from them. Take space. And like I remember once I was obsessed with getting an ex back. I was so obsessed. I wanted to be friends with him so bad. And then I finally took space, and I was like, it was like curtains were lifted, and I was like, I don't need that person in my life. And that person didn't come back to my life. That part, right? I probably should have written an outline for this so that I don't forget everything that I want to talk about. But it's one of my videos, so whatever, we're just gonna keep talking. That goes for hooking up with your exes. Just don't do it, man. Just don't do it. Just don't. It's just never a good idea. Unless you are that special relationship where you broke up and you could be friends and truly be friends with benefits, and it's all cool and it's good and it's on the up and up. Unless you are that rare case, and be honest with yourself here, you're not that rare case. You have to take space. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to get off. You know, I don't slut shame here. If you want to get dick down, if you want to do the nasty, whatever you do, however you have sex, if you want to do that, fucking awesome. Get your rocks off. However, if it's with an ex, it's a lot of the time really toxic, and you're craving that intimacy, that like, oh, this person cares about me, this person really loves me. Like, yeah, maybe, or maybe you're just making them feel good, and the endorphins are all rushing and the orgasms are happening or not happening, and you're just wrapped up in heightened moments, and you're clinging to those heightened moments because it feels good. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't feel good after, nope, whoop, that's all she wrote. Just don't do it. I'm team don't fuck your exes. Pumpkin is also team don't fuck your exes. Aren't you, baby? I think the weirdest thing for me, well, absolutely the weirdest thing for me with my last breakup was being in an open relationship or polyamorous relationship. Kind of switch between the two, so I kind of use them interchangeably, even though I understand that I know that there are differences. For the sake of it, I'm just gonna call it open because it's easier to say. Apparently easy isn't easy to say though. Is like dealing with a breakup while also like having another partner is so weird, because you keep feeling like it's gonna be weird if you talk, like if you have nights where you're really sad and you want to cry about the breakup, you want to cry about your ex, you miss your ex, whatever it is, you feel like is this okay? Is this okay that I miss my ex? Because since they're your partner, your brain goes into like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Your brain goes into monogamy mode, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't be talking about my ex. I'm with my current partner. That's like a whole nother beast. And honestly, I would love your guys' perspective. Pumpkin. She hears our landlords upstairs. They're a little noisy up there. I would love your guys' perspective. If any of you guys have had experience with dealing with breakups in open or polyamorous relationships, I would love to hear your experience. You can DM me, you can comment, whatever you feel comfortable with. But that was a whole new beast that I was not, that like is a blessing and a curse, right? But I don't know, that's a whole nother weird thing. Again, I don't really have advice on that because this is my first time experiencing that. This Panago vegan cheesy bread is the best fucking thing that's ever existed. I'm gonna have such bad heartburn tonight. Pumpkin, there's dog hairs in my wine glass. Buddy. But like my main thing with like dealing with a breakup is just like whenever it comes up, whenever you start to feel sad, whenever you start to get angry, and like whatever it is, like this last breakup, I have never experienced so many different emotions. Like in past breakups, I've definitely just kind of buried it and not ever dealt with it. This one I fucking dealt with, and there were days where I was just steaming mad, and there were days where I was fucking devastated, and there were days where I was like stoked and I felt free. Like there was so many emotions. Truly, how many stages of grief are there? 7? 5? Whatever it was, I literally felt like I went through each stage of grief. I went through the anger, I went through the bargaining, whatever all of it is. Like I had so many big emotions about this breakup that I had to try to manage, which is hard. It's so hard. And like the main thing that like helped me was music. Like we've all done the thing where we're sad, so we put on the song that makes us cry. Fucking do that when you're dealing with a breakup. Like feel the feelings. The amount of times that I scream cried to Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. And again, mind you, my breakup situation, my ex did not treat me the way Billie's ex treated her allegedly in that song, whatever. But it's just a thing of like, you listen to a song and you relate to it, even though you don't actually relate to it, you relate to it. The way that I just scream cried to that, or old Avril Lavigne songs, or Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo, like whatever it is, I found music that helped. And I feel like that's at least my way of being able to feel my feelings, because if I just like sit down and meditate or sit down and journal and try to like get into those feelings, they never come up. I'm like, no, this is fucking stupid. I'm not gonna do, like, again, Capricorn, just like, no, fuck that. Like, this isn't productive. Don't fucking do that. But when I'm listening to music though, it wells up. And music is so like touching for me. So that is something that I have held on to, where like music gets me through a breakup. I literally made a playlist called Screaming Into a Hairbrush About a Breakup, where it was just all the songs that I could just scream cry to and I could be upset to, and that I could put on when I started feeling my feelings bubble up, that I could put on that playlist and let them out and just let them explode. It's been almost 6 months since my breakup, and I'm still not over it at fucking all. Like, we were together for a really long time, we were really close friends, and like, I'm still kind of in shock. And I've kind of learned, because I think the first 3 months, I was just trying to stifle my feelings. I'd put on a sad song and then I'd change it and like button it up and get back to it. But like, I've sent myself into panic attacks just letting myself feel my feelings, which wouldn't necessarily recommend. I did have my current partner with me to help me through that. So if that is something that you feel like you want to do, where you just really want to feel your emotions big time and just fucking let it out, have somebody there with you, have a support system with you, whether it's your mom. So make sure you have somebody with you through that, to make sure that you're okay, to give you support, to bring you a bucket of ice water to stick your head in when you need to snap out of it, whatever it may be. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And it's probably like the last thing is just like, ask for help when you're, and that's, this goes for so many things, but especially during a breakup. Like, I relied on my friends so much during this last breakup, like especially like moving away from them and then having to deal with a breakup. I had to heavily rely on them. I had to call them and text them and video chat them and make like weekly appointments to video chat them and watch Drag Race, because it was, the thing that like made me happy, that was our like little safe space. doing those things, one, they make you feel a bit less alone, right? You feel love and warmth from someone when during a time where you feel like you're never gonna feel love again, when during a time where you feel so cold and feel so like abandoned, you know what I mean? Ask for help. Ask your friends if you can go stay the night at their house. Ask your mom out for brunch. Whatever it is, ask for help. Me being the person that I am, being like the fixer and not the fixie, like, it kind of just took me coming to Jesus with myself and being like, no, I need fucking help. I need fucking help. And thank God, because like, this is the most intense and most emotional breakup that I've ever gone through, but I also feel the most confident going through it. And part of that is that, again, I've been in a lot of long-term relationships. I know that I get out on the other side okay. I know that it will get better. I know all of these things, but also like the work that I've done on myself the last year has given, the last like 2 years, honestly, has given me the basis to be okay by myself again. Even though I'm not by myself, I'm partnered, but like, even with my new partner, I feel so much just like more secure in who I am. You know, RuPaul says it for a reason. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? You have to start with that basis. Like you have to start with self-love. And that's also like, before you get into another relationship or a new relationship, if you're not cool with yourself, breakups are gonna be 10 million times hard, because then you rely way more on your partner to fill whatever holes you cannot fill for yourself. Hey, that was a good one, yeah. I'm so sorry. Truly, you know, if you're not confident in yourself and you rely on someone else to make you feel loved and worth something, when you break up with them, or when they break up with you, or when you mutually break up, when you guys break up, it's going to be devastating, because it literally feels like you're breaking up with your self-worth. Like it's not good. And you know, I'm also, again, I'm 28, I've been through a few breakups. Like I was definitely that. I'm not trying to sound preachy or anything, but like, and I'm still going through that now. I'm still learning how to do that now, so not trying to sound preachy at all, but like it's so basic. It's so basic, where you just have to like go back into yourself. And that's kind of the work that you have to do through the relationship, through any relationship. It's all self-love, self-worth. And like, definitely partnerships are all about like, yeah, of course you rely on your partner. And of course, you know, like there's someone to lean on it, but it shouldn't be off balanced, right? Like it should kind of go like this. You lean on them, they lean on you, whatever it is, or this if you're open or poly, right? Like you lean and you move back and forth. But if it's too far over, when it falls, you're gonna have a hard time picking yourself back up, right? Because if you're only leaning this much and then you have to pick yourself back up from that, you just gotta go whoop. But if you're leaning this much, you gotta start from 0 degrees and work your way back up to 90. Pumpkin is so cute. I don't know. There's a lot of food left in front of me, and I could talk about this for a long time. And I have been talking about it for a long time. So I think I'm gonna like kind of wrap it up. Because at this point I don't remember any of my other talking points, if I had any more. But my biggest advice for somebody going through a breakup is feel your feelings, protect yourself, and be kind to yourself. That's it. Those are just the 3 things you have to do. Feel your feelings, let it out. Don't bottle it up. Even if you can just let it out in little bursts or in one big one, whatever it is, let it out. Feel it. It's okay to be sad. This person had a big impact on your life in one way or another, right? Better or worse, this person had an impact on your life. You shared a lot of your life with them. You have to mourn that, right? You have to mourn that. You have to mourn the potential future, your thoughts, your wishes. Like, you have to mourn all of these things, and it truly is mourning. You have to let yourself feel that. And then you have to protect yourself, you know, put up those boundaries and really care for yourself. You have to allow yourself to have shitty days. You have to allow yourself to not be productive and to just sit and eat pizza and maybe drink a little bit of alcohol, not in excess. Please be kind to yourself, right? Like, we're not being unsafe here, but have a glass of wine or two, you know? Like, whatever it is, you have to take care of yourself. And like, that also means picking yourself back up. That's huge. Like, obviously don't just like, you know, for months and months, let yourself fall into a slump that you never get out of. No, pick yourself back up. Take care of yourself. Get yourself outside and going for a walk. Make yourself a healthy lunch. Drink lots of fucking water, because I know you're crying a lot and I know you need to drink water. Like, that is taking care of yourself. Both allowing the sad times, but also understanding that like, you deserve better. You deserve to take care of yourself. So picking yourself back up in the moments where you feel like you can, and just inch by inch doing more and more. Maybe today you just take care of yourself by drinking one more glass of water. Maybe in a week you take yourself for a walk. Maybe in 2 weeks you finally tackle cleaning out the fridge. Whatever it is, you just have to pick yourself back up and go on with your life. Because life will go on. It's gonna be okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying now. But you guys, I think that's all I have. I think those are mostly my thoughts. Again, I could talk about this so much. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your advice. I would love to hear what helped you. I love you guys so much. I love filming these videos. I feel so much more at home in my YouTube channel now, and I'm so happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video. Genuinely, you guys, I never ask for things. I never ask for the generalized YouTube things, but please like the video, because YouTube's algorithm is fucking over small content creators. So like and comment, please. I love you guys so much. I'm gonna go put this away and probably eat the rest of this in like 2 hours when I'm in bed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.